To teach somebody how to use a camera like this and take really good pictures in the conventional way where you set the aperture and ISO and everything, it takes a long time to teach somebody. Like, you really got to get the hang of what the depth of field is going to give you. But to teach somebody how to take one of these amazing focus stack pictures, I can teach somebody like easily in an hour. The idea is that all the pictures get combined, and the reason I do that is because I want the aperture all the way open. That way the background is really blurry. But if you have the aperture all the way open and you just take a picture, the depth of field is so narrow that you can't see very much of the subjects. So you're bending the laws of physics. Here's the lens I use for almost everything. It's a 50mm macro lens. With this thing, you can just go into focus shift shooting. And so here it'll take 35 pictures and change the focus. This technique is more important the smaller the thing is. So if you have a really big mushroom, I only combine like maybe 5 or 6 pictures and it's less of a difference. Whereas if I have a really tiny mushroom that's only 3mm tall, I might take 120 pictures. With such a small thing, you have to get the lens real close, and then the depth of field is real narrow. So the focus stacking is more and more important the smaller it is. So probably the most important thing to figure out is the lighting. These, I will turn them down as low as they go. Usually it'll be like one to the left of the lens, one to the right of the lens, one on top. That's when I'm doing like a macro photo in the field. It's starting to look really good. I don't see any shadows, so it's probably time to take it out of here. And I think this side looks best. So this species is Psilocybe zapaticorum, and it's one that was discovered in Oaxaca, Mexico in the 1950s. But the native people have been using them for thousands of years. And this is what's called a landslide mushroom, or in Spanish, derumbe, which means landslide. And there's 4 species of derumbes in Mexico. This is the most potent one. So this strain was found at Popocatépetl, and that's an active volcano that's just outside of Mexico City. It's a really beautiful place. Popocatépetl is a really tall mountain. It's like, over 10,000 feet. At the very top, you see Psilocybe aztecorum and Psilocybe milliricula. And then this one grows a little bit further down. So this one grows at more like 1,500 meters elevation. And it grows in these canyons. Kind of like down on the edges of the mountain, there's these deep ravines. Oh yeah, that looks spectacular. For these lenses, they're the most sharp at f8. Because I have a black background, I don't have to worry about how blurry the background's going to be. So I'm going to set the aperture to f8. And then the base ISO of this camera is 64, so it takes the highest quality images, the ISO 64. And so here's the histogram, and notice how it's pegged right along the right-hand side, especially that red channel there. So that means we're clipping and we're losing data. And so in these brighter parts of the image, like this white stem here, you notice if I zoom in, there's no detail at all. And that's because we clipped the details there. So I have to reduce the exposure, so we make sure we preserve all the detail on these stems. I think this is the brightest part of the image here. So what I'd like to do is zoom into the very brightest part of the image and then look at the histogram just to make sure that we're not clipping anything in the brightest part. So I think this looks best when I hold this light like around here. So, as far as lights go, I like to just move them around and just like keep moving them until it looks the best. Yeah. If you want something like really dramatic, then we would like put all the lights kind of like back behind it, and then they got like really good texture and kind of dramatic things. So now everything is blurry because it's focused a little bit in front. So it's focused like right here. And then I will go menu, focus shift shooting. So it'll take 35 pictures, changing the focus just a little bit on each picture. So it'll take a slice where like this is in focus and then this is in focus, all the way to the back. I'm just about ready to go. So I'll just hit start here. And it's doing a 1/4 second exposure. So it'll be 35 pictures at a 1/4 second each. I can flip through here and you can start to see them come into focus.
Oh yeah,
See that
super sharp.
they are razor sharp. So I think this looks really good. The lighting is clearly, there's a lot more light coming from this side. So I think we're ready to move on to the computer and put this image together. So I'm just kind of looking in here and trying to decide like which actual mushroom is the most beautiful. And I'm kind of looking right in there, that pair. So what I'm going to do is set the focus all the way close. And when the focus is all the way close, then I'll just move the mushrooms themselves back until they're just out of focus, because it's focused a little bit too far. Yeah, I think about like that. That's going to look really cool. Because I'm closer, I'll need more images. So I'm going to turn this to 55. Okay, here's 55 pictures, and this is 1/13 of a second. If you listen, you can hear the aperture going, so you can hear it taking each picture. And when we put these together, we can decide how many pictures we actually want to stack, and that'll change a lot about how it looks. So what we're going to do first is choose which images that we're going to put together. Okay, here it is. So you can see, like in this image, everything is blurry. And then if I flip through them, I'll kind of like find the image that is where the one in the back is in focus. I think this is it here. So 7329. So I said 7313 to 7329. So if I go right into the raws and then just pick, and then I can stack them. There's got 3 different methods here. Method A gives you the blurriest backgrounds. Method B gives you the best textures. Method C gives you the best edges. And since we have so many different mushrooms and they're all overlapping, I'm pretty sure method C will be the one. And then I just click render, and now you can see it start to come together over here. Yeah, you zoom way in, you can see that everything is in focus perfectly here. We'll do the final level adjustment and final colors in Photoshop. And so sometimes I do a little bit of retouching at this stage, but I don't think this image needs it. So I'll just go ahead and save this. And we'll save it as a TIFF. So that preserves all the data from the raw image. And then I will open that up in Photoshop. Oh, this one's really cool. This is what I call the banana rusula. And it grows in the mountains of Colorado and Arizona, and it looks like a banana, but when it dries, it smells strongly like banana. Yeah, that's a new species. And here it is. And you can see it's pretty dim. So we will fix the color levels and everything. And see, if I bring it up too much, it will be clipping. If I hold down the Alt key, it shows the clipping. So if I just go like right to here, now I'm only clipping the very edge of the container, which is fine. Now it's starting to clip the mushrooms. It just look it, so it's just barely clipping, and that'll be about the right level. Basically we have a million different sliders here, and I just adjust them until it looks just like it did to our eye when we were taking the pictures. You can see if I dug the vibrance up too much, it looks silly. But it definitely looks better with more color in the caps here. Yeah, so I think right about there looks pretty good. So there's after, and then I can just hit undo so you can see the before and after. And yeah, I think that's pretty perfect. So if I zoom in to 100%, this is the full resolution. And you can see it's just razor sharp. So I think this one's done. Now we'll do that close-up. We already have stuff in focus here, so I'm just going to start with the very first image, 7351. The real decision we have here is how many photos we want to stack. I'm just kind of flipping through these and have to decide how far back we want the focus to go. And at least to this, because what I was looking at when I set the camera up was these 2 mushrooms here and then this one in the back. First to 7351. Through 74. So this one is 79 images. Stacking 79 raws will take several minutes. Really good detail in there. You can almost see the individual spores there. And those dark spots on the gills are like the cidia with 4 spores sticking up.